How are we doing, guys? Moose here, episode 65 of our West Ham United career mode. And we start off this episode with a youth report, scouting report, I should say, and also news that one of our youth players, Lawrence Flanagan, has decided he doesn't want to be in our academy anymore. And it kind of led me to a sort of a purge, you might have to say, because I did sign a couple players here. You see Teddy Cox, who actually, his last name's Cox, and we already have a player in our academy named Cox, so we'll say it's the younger brother of Scott Cox who's in our academy. But from there, I decided, you know what, we're going to go on a purge of the youth academy, and basically anyone with that 80 potential, not going to get into our first team kind of potential, we had to let them go. Because look at all the players we're wasting, $500 a week on, or whatever they're making a week in terms of sitting in our youth academy and not playing for the squad. So really guys that we just didn't think were going to be in the team, we had to let go. So we did lose a few players, but we keep a pretty sizable chunk of them. We also get some news that guys like Scott Barber decided they thought, I'm going to cancel my contract. I think he's 17, so we decided, we're going to have to offer him a deal because he's one of those players that has potential that can go up to 91, 92, so he does have that potential to be special if we bring him into the club, which we will end up having to do. So first opportunity there. Now on, we do have our final game of the season. Newcastle United at St. James's Park. Obviously, Andy Carroll going back to the club where he made his name in this particular contest. It's going to be a big matchup because we're set in third, but the huge games going on we're going to have to follow along with. Manchester City and Chelsea are going to be battling for the title. Arsenal and Manchester United will be battling for the fourth and final Champions League spot, and Swansea City and West Bromwich Albion, the results of their games will determine which of the two of them will be relegated. West Brom currently sitting in 18th, Swansea, though, just ahead of them. So any kind of result could result in either team going back down to the championship, which of course they'll not want to do with the monetary windfall you get from staying in the Premier League. But we played basically our top lineup here with the exception of Tom Thomas coming in goal here. I decided to give him his Premier League debut away at Newcastle because Adrian's on the outside looking in terms of staying in the team for next season, and I wanted to see how a player that does have potential to be special as a goalkeeper, and he's progressed so well. I think he's gone up 5 attribute points this season. He's only played 6 or 7 games, and he's got 5 clean sheets in those games. So I wanted to give him a shot and just see how he fared against actual Premier League competition rather than cups, which is where he played all season. Obviously, he played a lot in the Capital One Cup, and also I think once or twice in the Europa League against some of our lower opposition. But we started off really well here. Carroll with the ball over the top, looking for the ball, and I kept this in. I know it was offsides, but it was just such lovely, intricate play that I really wanted to show it off. If you watch it back, the triangles we were working were absolutely beautiful, and unfortunately, Dybala couldn't time his run correctly, and it led to him being offsides. But a couple of really good chances, and we are just dominating the game right now. Dybala plays through Marky Noble here, and Tim Krul forced into a wonderful save, and it's absolute one-way traffic right now. We are just throwing the ball at the Newcastle goal here. Another great chance. It's downing into Dybala. 1-2 to Carroll, who smashes it, and Tim Krul with another really nice save. We come forward into the 41st minute now. Delph lays the ball out. Andy Carroll does really well with the sliding tackle to knock it loose to the feet of Oxlade-Chamberlain. Into Carroll. He turns, quickly plays it through to Stuart Downing, and the former Liverpool and Aston Villa man, and Middlesbrough, I think, as well, just slots it right in the back of the net. Lovely little finesse shot over the oncoming Krul. It's like a combination of a finesse and a chip is what it actually ended up being. But it was a beautiful goal from Downing. He waits it perfectly, does Carroll on his pass, and he just slips it over the oncoming Dutch goalkeeper into the back of the net. It is a little chip finesse from Stuart Downing, and he continues his just sublime form. And I'll tell you what, even though his ratings are going down, he's got a couple of -1s here and there, he is an absolute talisman for our team. And I know we have Grenier coming in at Cam, but it's great to know we have that number 2 option in Stuart Downing. His 6th goal of the season in the Premier League, which is unbelievable for an attacking midfielder. And I think he has 7 assists in the Prem to go along with that as well. So he's been very, very good for us. Newcastle, they'll come right back the other way, and they say game on with a lovely strike from Musa Sissoko, a guy who, not saying anything, but I would love having him in my team. He's a fantastic player, a lot of energy. He can play out wide, he can play through the center, he can play in holding midfield, he can play attacking midfield. Very versatile, and with a finish like that, he is a stupendous player. It's a beautiful goal, and just like that, Newcastle are back on terms and start the game anew in the 45th minute. But Dybala starts a counterattack here, plays the ball into Andrew Carroll, Sir Andrew, Lord of Carroll. Oxlade-Chamberlain, lovely little double step over. Then a roulette to make an absolute mug out of Jack Colbeck. He uses his pace to skip past Anita. Fake shot around Lascelles. Oxlade-Chamberlain could go all the way, and it's like a city bus none for so long, and then 3 come along at once. 3 goals in the span of 4 in-game minutes. Just like that, it goes from 0-0 to 1-0 West Ham, 1-1, and back to 2-1 West Ham on the strength of an Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain wonder goal. He goes through Newcastle's whole team, basically, with an unbelievable run. Stupendous skills shown by Oxlade-Chamberlain. He uses a roulette, uses a little double step-over body feint, he uses a fake shot, and then he uses a finesse finish. Back in the net. 7th goal in the Premier League for the former Arsenal man. And that is another English talent that we are really utilizing at this moment in time, in addition to Downing. And what a bit of skill from Dybala here. Plays Carroll through. He does have a strike that, what in the world was the Geordie do with that? But the skill by Dybala to beat his man is really why I wanted to share that highlight, because my goodness, he is just disgusting. Cresswell plays an unbelievable 1-2. What a ball through from Fabian Delph, I think it was, and it great chance for Dybala yet again, but the Argentine couldn't get on the ball, and Krul does poke it away. Another bit of skill. It's an elastico from Dybala, and he's eventually pulled down to win a free kick, which will then give to him to take, because he has free kick stats on the level of Cresswell, and he does force a save out of Krul. His shot does take a deflection off the wall, but it goes on target still and forces Tim Krul to push it away from his goal just to keep it safe. Jenkinson with another chances. We are just creating chances left and right. Plays the ball and looking for Carroll. And you will see Carroll, the little plus pops up. He does pick up a knock, and that would roll him out with a significant injury, which we'll see later in the game. He would be forced to come off for Connor Wickham. So disappointing to lose Carroll, especially in a game back at his former home. But that said, we're used to that with Carroll. He did pick up an injury last season and left him out for a significant chunk of time. This year he stayed mostly injury-free, which has been huge for us. Good triple save here from Tommy Thomas. Does show a lot of nice composure, in terms of a little tongue twister there. But great composure from Thomas. A little bit better than Adrian, you have to say. If that was because it was 3 shots at his near post. The way Adrian's been playing, he would have stopped something at his far post, but near post he would have let in. So Thomas does show a bit of composure and keeps the ball out of the back of the net. One final chance here with Connor Wickham striking from range after coming on as a substitute, but it is parried away by Tim Krul. And we will at least finish our season still in 3rd place, but with a victory, obviously. We weren't able to win our home finale, but we do win our season finale with a great victory, 2-1, on the strength of a couple of lovely goals, you have to say. The sublime through ball to Downing from Carroll, and then Carroll with a 2nd assist. He actually had assists on both goals in this game as he laid it off to Oxlade-Chamberlain, and he had so much work to do, but he was able to finish it, give us the 2-1 lead, which culminated in a 2-1 victory. Deserved, you have to say. But Thomas did look strong in goal, I have to say. He does get FIFA's man of the match. For me, our final 3 man of the match awarded 1 point to Oxlade-Chamberlain, 2 to Fabian Delph in the center of the park, and 3 to Stuart Downing, my man of the match, who I thought pulled the strings and was stupendous in this game. So it's a great way to finish it out, obviously, and that's going to be the end of our gameplay for this season. In the next episode, and this is a, thing for me, what I want to see is if we can get 10 likes, and before I go into that, we see City beat QPR while Chelsea lost to Tottenham, United drawing with Arsenal winning, West Brom winning and Swansea losing, which means Manchester City on the final day of the season have leaped over Chelsea to win the Premier League title. Chelsea finished in 2nd. Arsenal's victory with United's draw means that Arsenal have scraped up the final Champions League qualification spot, while Manchester United will be relegated back to the Europa League for next season after playing it back in the Champions League this year. And Swansea City's loss coupled with West Brom's win. West Brom have made an incredible escape, obviously. They beat us the game before, and then they win in their final game of the season, while Swansea lose, meaning that Swansea, on the stroke of absolute out of nowhere, will be relegated, while West Brom has staked their claim to be in the Premier League for 1 more season. So what an unbelievable final day. Some crazy scenes at West Brom, surely. And then we have another exodus. Tom Pratley, another youth player, right back, decides that he wants out of his contract. He's 17 as well, and he wants to be promoted to the first team. We get £11 million for our Premier League 3rd place finish, which is unbelievable. So happy with that. I was shooting for top 4 all season, and to finish in 3rd was unbelievable. We did get a bit of help by Arsenal and United struggling down the stretch, but Carroll has broken his toe on that challenge when he fell awkwardly, and he'll be out for 2 months. Thankfully, that will cover the majority of the off season as opposed to the regular season. So Thankfully, Carroll will miss a lot of that. Will rule him out of the Euros in 2016, though, which is disappointing for him. We do have Ruben Rowe, who only had 84 max potential, does terminate his contract, but we do keep a lot of our high potential players. Scott Cox, Tom Proutley, and Barber all accept their contracts, and they're all guys that do have potential above 90, so we could see some fantastic young players developing on our hands. But what I was going to say here, while we finish out the season, our business, re-sign one player, I do decide to let Elliot Lee go, while Kevin Nolan will get re-signed at a squad rotation player role for one more season, because he's getting old, but he is one of our team leaders, and I like to keep him in the club because he had a bit of a resurgence this year. I thought he was really good. Of course, scored a fantastic goal against, I think it was Norwich. Scored the winner. He was really, really good for us and scored a couple of big key goals. We also will decide in terms of, I want to see 10 likes on this video, which obviously when somebody says how many likes they want, you expect 1,000. But for me, 10 likes is a lot. But if we can get 10 likes on this video on the YouTube page, I will upload the second episode, which is the goal of the season. It's a season recap and the goal of the season. So you can get voting on the goal of the season and get through to the next episode and to keep things rolling here to get to the awards and then into season 3. So if you do get, as soon as we get 10 likes, I have that video ready, saved, up, set to be uploaded. As soon as we do that, I'll have it out for you, which will be fantastic. Just because then you can get your voting on goal of the season. And there's some unbelievable goals in there that we've had this season. I tried to limit it down. I wanted to go down to like 5 goals, but I couldn't. We actually will have 8 nominees just because of how many great goals we did have in this season. I hope one does come to the forefront. There's one in my mind that I think honestly should be the winner, but we'll see what you guys say, and obviously the winner by voting will actually be the winner. So after that, we'll have goal of the season, then we'll have our awards, will be episode 67, and then 68 we'll get into season 3. So like I said, 10 likes and we'll have that out as soon as I can hit upload for you guys. Hope you have enjoyed it. We get a squad report to finish out, and we will see you in the next episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.